Leo was the littlest lighthouse keeper on the stormiest isle. His father, a giant with a booming laugh that echoed across the waves, had taught him everything about the great lamp that kept ships safe. But the sea, as grand and playful as it could be, had also been cruel. A monstrous wave, taller than their little tower, had swept his father away during the last great squall, leaving Leo alone with the silent, unblinking eye of the lighthouse. Now the lamp felt heavy, its beam a constant aching reminder of his father's guiding light. Leo did his duties, cleaning the lens until it gleamed like a giant tear, checking the oil, and winding the clockwork that turned the light in its steady, life-saving sweep. But his heart felt like a tangled fishing net, heavy with sadness. He often stood on the lantern room balcony, the wind whipping his small frame, and imagined his father's strong arm around him, his voice telling tales of brave sailors and mysterious sea creatures. One particularly foggy night, a thick gray blanket swallowed the island whole. The foghorn groaned its mournful song, and Leo shivered, not from the cold, but from a deep-seated fear. Suddenly, the lighthouse lamp sputtered and died. Darkness, thick and suffocating, descended. Leo's breath caught in his throat. The lamp had never gone out. Never panic bubbled in his chest. He fumbled for his lantern, its small beam a weak defense against the oppressive dark. He checked the oil, full. He checked the wick, intact. He checked the mechanism, still wound tight. The great lamp remained stubbornly dark. Tears welled in Leo's eyes. He was alone. The lighthouse was blind, and somewhere out in that treacherous fog, ships were sailing, relying on his light. He felt the weight of that responsibility crushing him. Just as despair threatened to engulf him, he heard a faint scratching sound near the base of the lamp. Curious, Leo held his lantern closer. Peeking out from behind the heavy gears was a tiny creature he had never seen before. It looked like a cross between a squirrel and a mouse, with luminous green eyes that glowed faintly in the dark. It was nibbling on a small glowing crystal. "What are you doing?" Leo whispered, his voice trembling. The creature startled, dropping the crystal. It squeaked softly and scurried further into the machinery. Leo gently coaxed it out with a piece of dried fish he had in his pocket. The creature cautiously approached and nibbled at the offering. As it ate, Leo noticed the crystal it had been holding. It pulsed with a soft inner light. He picked it up. It felt warm and strangely alive. Suddenly, he remembered a story his father had told him. A legend whispered among the islanders. The lighthouse lamp wasn't just powered by oil and mechanics. It also held a heartstone, a magical crystal that amplified its light. Could this be it? Had the little creature somehow dislodged it? He tried placing the crystal back into the lamp's central mechanism, but it wouldn't fit. There was a small, empty socket where it looked like something was missing. Leo's heart sank. Had the heartstone been lost? Just then, the little creature chirped excitedly and nudged something else out from under a gear. It was another crystal, smaller and duller than the first. The little creature then did something astonishing. It took the smaller crystal and rubbed it against the larger, glowing one. As it did, the smaller crystal began to shimmer, its dullness fading until it pulsed with a soft blue light. Leo watched in amazement. The twist. The little creature wasn't trying to break the lamp. It was trying to fix it. Perhaps the larger crystal, the heartstone, needed to be charged by the smaller one. Carefully, Leo placed the newly glowing blue crystal into the empty socket in the lamp's mechanism. He then held the larger green crystal in place. A soft hum filled the lantern room. Slowly, hesitantly, the great lamp flickered, then glowed brighter, and finally blazed to life, its powerful beam cutting through the fog. Relief washed over Leo, so intense it almost buckled his knees. He had light again, the ships were safe. And he wasn't alone. He looked at the little creature who was now chittering happily, its green eyes sparkling in the lamplight. He named the creature Flicker for its glowing eyes. Flicker became Leo's constant companion. He learned that Flicker and his kind, the Lumiflora, were drawn to strong light sources and had a natural ability to manipulate light-giving crystals. Perhaps Flicker had been drawn to the Naudium Heartstone and was trying to help it regain its power in his own way. The fog eventually lifted, revealing a sky full of stars that seemed to wink in gratitude. A small fishing boat, caught in the heavy fog, chugged safely into the island's harbor, its captain waving gratefully at the brightly shining lighthouse. Leo continued his duties, but now he wasn't just maintaining a lamp. He was caring for a magical light with the help of a tiny, luminous friend. His heart, once heavy with grief, now felt lighter, filled with the warmth of companionship and the wonder of their shared secret. He even started to tell Flicker the stories his father used to tell, his voice echoing in the lantern room, no longer filled with sadness, but with the promise of new adventures. He was still the littlest lighthouse keeper, but now he was also the bravest, for he had faced the darkness, and with the help of an unexpected friend and a magical twist, had brought the light back to his stormy isle. The lighthouse beam, stronger and brighter than ever, was no longer just a reminder of loss, but a beacon of hope, friendship, and the magic that can be found in the most unexpected places.